Hi everyone, welcome back to English 112. This is for our class for Thursday, the 13th. So I'm sorry I was having some technical difficulties with the last class, but I hope that video gave you a sense of closure for A Midsummer Night's Dream as we move forward to our last drama, which is A Raisin in the Sun. If you can look at the notes below, you can see that our second journal, which is going to be on 3 dramas, Oedipus the King, Midsummer Night's Dream, and A Raisin in the Sun, will be due on the 25th of April. That's a Tuesday, so that should give us enough time to put some closure to the play. And your second paper, which will be very similar to the first paper, the difference being that you will be focusing on drama rather than focusing on short story, will be due on the 9th of May, and that will be approximately 4 to 5 page critical paper. So you can keep those in the back of your mind as we are headed towards our last drama. But before I started talking about drama, I did want to remind you that registration is now active, and you can see that in the second bullet or section of the notes below. And I've included a link that you can access to see the online course catalog, but you can also find that on the GCC webpage as well. And you can do all kinds of searches based on time and teacher and face-to-face rather than online, and vice versa. And of course, the more specialized the search, the narrower the results that you will be receiving. And if you haven't registered yet, I encourage you to do so, because the sooner you register, the more likely it is that you will be able to get the classes that you want at the times that you want with the teachers that you want. So you can register either through your advisor, and if you don't know who your advisor is, you can find that on my GCC, or you can also go to the advising center and register as well. And I know that some of the classes don't necessarily have teachers yet attached to them. One of them happens to be a class that I probably have mentioned to you previously. I teach a class in horror film and medium popular culture. That's a CMN class. So that's CMN 201. And right now it's listed as staff, but I would be the person who would be teaching that. That's for the fall semester, and it is online. And if you're curious about knowing more about the class, I put together a little YouTube trailer talking a bit about the class. So you could watch that if you'd like, or certainly just reach out to me. And in terms of the summer schedule, there are, I think, very few teachers that are listed thus far, but I can tell you which classes that I'm going to be teaching. Summer session 1, I would be teaching English 247, which is a women in literature class, and I would be teaching it online, very similar to the way this class is. In fact, the very first piece we would be reading is the short story, The Story of an Hour. And summer session 2, I am teaching PCS 101, a public speaking class, also online. And again, if you've got any questions about those or any other classes, I'm aware that probably most of you will need to take another English course, something that's coded with the 2, so something that is more specialized. Any of the 200 level classes at GCC, those are advanced classes. And for English, that means that you could focus on a particular time period or a particular genre or a particular author. For the fall, the class that I'm going to be teaching is Gothic literature, where we review some classic Gothic texts such as Frankenstein and Dracula and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, moving on to Raisin in the Sun. This play is not included in your textbook, so I had ordered it as a separate text, though you could certainly find it in libraries, and you can also find it online. And I included the link that you could use if you wanted to read the text online. But as you know, we'll be watching a performance. Not that performance is in any way a substitute for reading. It's a supplement for reading. And the version we're going to see of Raisin in the Sun is considered to be the definitive version. And this was a version that stars Sidney Poitier, the very famous actor. and it was done in 1961, just a couple of years after the actual play itself was written. One of the reasons why it's considered to be the definitive version, not only because Sidney Poitier starred in it, but because Lorraine Hansberry, the author, worked very closely with this film adaptation. So this is basically her vision of what her stage play would be like in a film format. And in fact, she used many of the Broadway actors from the stage version for this film version. So if you'll look at the notes below, what I've got for you to watch are 3 brief clips talking a little bit about productions of Raisin in the Sun. One is approximately a minute long. It's from ABC News, and it was talking a little bit about the 2014 production of Raisin in the Sun that starred Denzel Washington to very high reviews, and that was in Broadway. And then you'll see the second clip, which is approximately 4 minutes long. It's also about that same production, the 2014 Broadway production, interviewing some of the cast, specifically about themes concerning race and class, 2 major of the themes in the play, though there are multiple themes in this play. And then the last clip I wanted you to watch would be a 3-minute clip from American Playhouse. And it's talking a little bit about the groundbreaking Broadway casting of the initial Raisin in the Sun from Lorraine Hansberry. What I wanted us to do, in addition to seeing those clips, is to begin actually watching the 1961 Sidney Poitier version. I suggest that you watch up until minute 55:47. You can see that in the notes below as well, because that's a natural break. So then we can pick up from there next class. But I wanted to keep this short because you've got some clips to watch. And in terms of our attendance question, which will be due on Saturday at noon, and of course, if you need an extension, please let me know, that thus far, based on your viewing and reading of the play, which is your favorite character in A Raisin in the Sun, and why? So I hope you are doing well. I am doing well, and we will continue on next class discussing A Raisin in the Sun. Take care. Bye-bye.